Welcome, everybody. It's me, Brandy P, and the wonderful Miss Melissa. And we are here back again on Thursday for the another, I guess, edition of the Bad Moms Club. How are you doing, lady?
Yes. So exciting. Oh, I'm freezing. Sorry, y'all.
Did you see me like chug that whole thing like during the intro, by the way?
Okay. Is that loud? I have this robot vacuum going.
Yeah, why?
Can you hear it? I'm gonna turn it off. Sorry.
That's okay. My daughter was trying to creep around the corner a second ago. That's why I was like, ugh. But so Melissa, so how's your son doing with the magazine cover, by the way?
Oh yes, he was so excited. Jeremiah, I'm gonna see if he'll bring it.
Oh yes, come on, buddy. Mom life.
Say
hi, Nat, from the Philippines. Hey, Jeremiah.
Oh
yeah, your mama's famous now.
He said, "I know."
I know. You know, it's funny. My daughter, our kids get so influenced by us, but like my daughter, like she got her school pictures, and she goes, "I just got my my photo shoot pictures back." I was like, "What?" Okay. I was like, "Girl, what? Your school pictures?" Oh, look at that beautiful. Hey, I think we know her. Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl. Just give her some hearts for that one. Okay. Hey, I think I know her.
Right? Who is she? Her hair and makeup is done.
Hey, I think I know that place. Isn't that the Glam House? Look at you, got two hearts. Bam.
Yeah, so it's to do that, especially you know, as a woman, and I'm about to be 30, so I feel like
okay.
I get a good age demographic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's honestly like for like moms, especially like different like ethnicities. Like, you know, some people become moms late, some have kids really early on. Like, I mean, I was 30 when I had Aurelia, and I felt like I was a senior citizen because like everyone was way younger than me, and I was like, do I need to go to the geriatrics ward? Like, oh god, I started like.
I feel like even before I had my son, I used to work at daycares and work with kids, and I was always in like education, like child care. And once I had Jeremiah, I felt like everything went out the window. I forgot everything, and I just felt like I was learning all over.
Yeah, kids really do that to you, and they really kind of like teach you things that bother you and frustrate you about yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though. So, what was I gonna say? Outside of that, is there anything else that you got coming up in the, I guess, upcoming weeks?
Gosh, honestly, no. I'm like so happy to say that.
That never happens. You never have an open schedule.
Gosh, I'm just like, I mean, I'll still be working, but now that I have a new job, so there's that.
I know you're going to make all the cool like Delta 8, Delta 9 drinks too. Like, can we have like a, I guess like a how-to like tutorial? Like, I feel like I need to learn.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Stuff. I'm like, yeah, that was cool. So I was like doing bartending. I do have a bartending event coming up in the next couple weeks, but honestly, it's something that I just show up and do my job. You know what I mean? It's not like I have to plan it or anything.
Yeah. We actually are in the middle of planning for a women veteran concealed carry event down here in San Antonio. It was supposed to be this Saturday. We had to postpone it till the 19th of March, which is kind of cool because for some of you that don't know, it is actually Women Veterans History Month. So I think it's pretty awesome. And then we're actually going to have a retired 2-star general that's a female general in attendance as well. and she's also Latina. So I'm really excited to meet her because she's quite
God.
literally delivering history, should I say? But
Yeah.
I reached out to some sponsors, and I was kind of amazed at some of the responses we had. I was really thankful that we had some supporters of the women veterans in ways I didn't realize. I reached out to some of our friends at RPG, and I let them know about the event. We're going to have about 50 people, and they sent us 50 bags of coffee.
Awesome.
Like I literally just had like $2,500 of coffee, quite literally, like delivered, like so we can surprise our women veterans. They have no idea.
Oh, you know we love some coffee.
Girl, yes, I think that's like the currency of the military right there. That
That is
maybe whippets, much, not sure.
totally
But
it.
also, I reached out to Unique ARs. I don't know if you know a lot about him. So Brian Oakland actually is the owner of Unique ARs. He's a huge supporter of the military, and he has donated builds in the past to other organizations. And so I had written to him, and I had let them know what we were doing, and he actually sent us this amazing handguard that's custom painted. It says, I think it says Patriot or something down the side, or Freedom. That's what it says. And it's got like red, white, blue. Like it's got like the Montezuma red, like everything. It's really slick. I can't wait to see the women like their faces because we're gonna actually do a competition for them to win it.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a lot of women Marines that are going to be doing a shooting competition. Imagine that.
Oh snap. Dude, you have to get footage.
Girl, yes. We are actually. So Tia Juanita, I don't know if you remember her. She is actually going to be out there doing videos. So we're going to actually do some video of the event as well. And I believe the CEO of the Girl Scouts may be also in attendance. So I'm really excited. Yes. So I'm excited to see. Yes. Right? Like bring us not the dosey dose. Like bring us everything else.
My favorite when we're on deployment, they would send us tons of cookies, and it was the Samoa. Was it the Samoa cookies?
Yeah.
Peanut butter ones?
Oh no, that's the tagalongs, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Tagalongs, and then there's like another one with peanut, but there's like two with peanut butter, I think. Like I don't know why can't there be two with caramel in it? Like I'm just saying.
Hey, I wasn't pick. I was like, I'll take them all.
Right? Like I always think it's funny, like the ones that set up outside of dispensaries. I'm like, that was slick. Like your parents were a stoner. Like I'm just saying, like there's insider knowledge on this.
Like, I know my audience. Okay.
I know what my mom likes, so where am I going to set up to sell?
And a cute
But
little girl.
right? They sell out too, though. Like, I mean, there's some like girls they sell. Yes. I remember when I was a little kid, I was in Würzburg, and my mom decided to be cookie mom because she didn't know much about it. And I think she had about 8,000 boxes of cookies in her house, and she was pretty upset.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do with all those boxes.
To the ceiling, floor to ceiling. Like it took like I think over a month. She's like, I will never volunteer ever again.
Well, speaking of events happening, there is the cook-off started off tonight here in Houston. I was trying to go so bad.
What like is it for like
Rodeo.
rodeo? Okay, yeah.
Rodeo. It's one of the biggest rodeos in the country, or maybe world. I don't know. Pretty sure. But yeah, so the cook-offs is like the kickoff, and then we start with the concerts and everything else.
Nice. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, like stock show and rodeo is a huge thing down here. They call it like the rodeo round trip, basically. Like the Spurs, like when they go out to their away games during this time. But like Texas basically shuts down in like whatever city it's in for like several days. I mean, it's not like the South, I think, is it is, but a lot of people tour and they have these huge like exhibitions and like different things for people to show off like cattle, horses, oxen, kind of a little of everything, but it's pretty big deal down here. Like I know here they have like the cowboy breakfast. That's like what kicks off everything, and then like they do that, and then after that they have fiesta. A few months later, it's like a whole cycle.
I can't wait to go to
fiesta. It's like I have to like pick and choose. Like I only have so much patience for like dumb drunk people, unless I'm one. I'm just kidding. No, that's actually another thing I was gonna say is what's the age that it's unacceptable to be hungover in front of kids, your kids? Like, what's the acceptable or unacceptable age? Any audience can answer too.
Like hungover. How hungover?
Like it's hard not to be being hungover as a parent as it is, because it's like your parenting responsibilities that early in the morning, it's frustrating enough, but like being that hungover where you don't want to like actually move is so much worse. And you don't
I
think about it until you become a
don't
parent.
feel good. I think you're good. As long as you're like, mommy doesn't feel good, like maybe take a nap. But as long as like they have to be able to feed themselves and like so I would definitely say maybe not a child, like a baby, especially if you are a single
Of
mom, like
course. Yeah.
you have some help, then it's like, oh.
That's hard too because you're a single mom. So you're like, I just need to not be a mom for 5 seconds. I want to be like everyone else. And then you go like too hard because you want to be like what you were. But then you don't realize like your tolerance is not like half of what it once was. So then you end up like, mom wasted and you're like, oh no, this isn't going to be good for anyone.
Pizza today, all day today, pizza.
Pizza rolls, pizza, what you want. But hey, Sergeant G, how are you doing? Um,
Hello.
But yeah, no, I always wondered about that because I think everybody kind of, hey, Kiana. So Kiana's new to our station. She is going to be on a new podcast for our station. I'm not sure the name yet. So if you have the name, definitely post it, Kiana, because I'm curious. Because I can't wait. She's actually San Antonio native as well. And she has a awesome nonprofit. I can't wait to hear more about Project Steel. It's for homeless veterans in San Antonio, which I think is pretty cool.
That is amazing. I can't wait to learn more about it.
Right? Like I was curious too. Like when I was hearing about it, I was like, yes, like I haven't heard enough about this, but I know a lot of people are trying to secure grants for homeless women veterans in Texas. So I think that's great.
Jean said, just don't get that junk.
Just to get, I mean, or have a friend that does IVs. I mean,
You gotta, what was the military rule? Like have a drink, have a glass of water, have two drinks, have a glass of water.
Yeah, I mean, definitely then like, like so many drinks per hour. I mean, you got to calculate that out as well. I mean, being hydrated beforehand, having enough potassium. I mean, that's actually why they did the pickle shots. Do you remember that back in the day? The pickle shots, that's where it came from, was because of the fact that the pickle juice is high in potassium, and the potassium actually helps you from getting hungover. So that's why back in the day, they used to have a pickle shot that you could order in addition to your regular shot to keep you from being hungovers, to help keep, I guess, your electrolytes up.
No.
It's crazy that like we go away from things that could have saved us from being hungover or in like worse conditions.
Kiana said Monday night slumber party. I believe that's the name.
Monday night slumber party. That's right. So Monday nights we're gonna have a bunch of new women veterans coming on. So you guys have more to watch on Mondays as well as Thursdays and Wednesdays as well. So I mean, there's a lot of chicks coming on BRS. Heck yes.
Hey.
Here. Yes. Remember when we came on and it was just us? It was just like a sausage fest? Like nothing.
Yeah, basically.
That was like the chicks are taking over.
Yes, finally.
But yes, yeah, I'm excited. And also like also like I was thinking about like being a mom during troubled times. It's not easy. I mean, especially right now.
Are we allowed to speak about what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
I'm like, as a mom, I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Well, it's like a twofold for us because we think of as a mom and we also think like, well, shit, are we going to have to like re-enlist or like, how does that work if you're 100% or, are they going to be my career field or anything like that?
Yeah.
That explains why my daughter's babysitter does that. She's a smart woman. That and bananas, they both have high potassium. It also helps for muscle cramps also.
What crap needs to stop, Sergeant G? I don't know.
It's like the worst weather right now. Something the worst dry mouth. I'm like, oh, this is the worst.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's been like here in Houston. It's been like cold and then like drizzling rain, like miserable.
Yeah, my back is not a fan of this weather right now. I would have worn my brace, but then my boobs would have been to my eyes, and we probably had like 1,000 like views or something right now. It's bad enough as it is.
Oh my goodness, sorry.
No, I'm excited. Sergeant G's in the Fox in the Hen House. Good thing your wife's one of the fans.
He said no.
Cold shit's 8 degrees. Yeah, I moved away from that shit. Like when it used to be negative where I'm from. No, not a fan. The bone of my leg is not a fan. It's too close to the skin, man.
It's only 38 degrees out here.
Yeah, it was like freezing all day today, basically, or like 1 degree over. So it just enough to make the rain not totally freeze. So it was like
Mm.
slushish, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah, and Texans don't do cold. I don't know if you guys know that, but they park under bridges. That happens. That's a thing. Like for rain, no. But was I gonna say it's hard also for like the corona and COVID too, like trying to explain to your kids that it's okay, like taking them to school and like worrying about, like exposure and stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard to like not show your kids that you're worried and scared. I
Yeah.
think that it's definitely something to think about. Like, I mean, it's hard too because like your kids can read you. So as much as we try to keep stuff from them, like our kids always catch stuff more than we realize. I can't hear you, Melissa. What's up?
We're gonna be talking. Oh, I think I've finally like. I know it's about trouble times. But I was gonna go on to the next topic about being single for so long and about having kids. And
Yeah.
for me, it's been over a year now, and I don't even see myself dating. And it's funny because like today we're at Target, and my son was like, "Mom, can I get this backpack for whenever I have a little brother?" And I'm like, "From who?" Because you need a boyfriend for that, first of all.
He's trying to speak it into the universe.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, when that happens," I was like, "Well, when that happens, we can come back and get a backpack." But
It'll
yeah,
be here when I come back.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just I'm speaking for myself. It's been over a year, but I'm still like figuring out my life, focusing on me and
Yeah.
my, and of course, like being used to being with somebody, it's different. But also, I'm enjoying like embracing the change and just kind of letting things come to me as need be.
Absolutely. And I think that really like people don't realize like how much sometimes you need to repair, yourself as an individual after a divorce or a bad relationship or something like that because we tend to lose our own identity. And I think like rediscovering that it's not something that you can find in 2 weeks before meet some dude from the gas station or whatever. Like, unfortunately, like some people don't move on as fast and you really have to develop yourself. I mean, if you don't want to be the same person that you were in the last relationship.
Yeah, I just also too growing up and seeing like just growing up period, seeing women like in my life and friends or just colleagues. Like honestly, I see a lot of rushing between men and women once they have like
Mhm.
separated or they do have
Yeah.
kids. And honestly, um, life happens, but I don't see myself trying to rush into something when I was with somebody for so long. I want to be able to enjoy time with myself, number one, and also
Yeah.
enjoy time with my son, just me and him. So I think
Yeah.
people sometimes we forget that because we do get lonely, and sometimes our hormones speak very loudly. And some guys, I was just like, hey, like I just want to hug. I want to be with somebody when I lay down at night. But like, there's so much stuff we can work on. Like, if a relationship comes, then that can be like the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, and you don't want your kids to like grow up with like eight uncle such and suches or your mom's friend or whatever because at the end of the day the kids sometimes they feel responsible if it doesn't work out or it's a bunch of weirdos that you're bringing around your kids and it's hard, it's not easy. And I mean I struggle with it myself and then trying to find that time to date when you have kids because you're doing so much to make up the income, one, and then two, to find that time to pay for a babysitter for a date that is or isn't disappointing. It's like always hard to tell. So it's definitely a challenge. It's not easy. Hey Summer. Yeah, I agree. The loneliest to be is when you feel lonely in a relationship. Yep.
Uh, yeah. It's like sometimes you miss things, and it's like, don't forget why you are like now single. Like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. What did George say? I think one time he said like a lion does not eat grass, like on a show, and I was like, I said I wanted to tattoo that on myself somewhere at some point. because it's a legitimate analysis. Or like, don't drink from the poison well because you're thirsty.
Oh, don't be
So
thirsty. Yeah,
I mean,
don't be thirsty out
it's okay to
here.
be thirsty sometimes, but be thirsty responsibly, okay?
Yes.
But yeah, but it's hard. I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, and then plus, they haven't. Angie's List hasn't taken my suggestion about the standing dick appointment app expansion part. So unfortunately, we got to be responsible and stuff.
Andrew's like, get her off my list, first of all.
But yeah, well, actually, fun fact: did you know that the VA, like, if you are fully covered through them, if you contract an STI, then your partner is automatically taken care of as well. I don't know if a lot of veterans know that that is something that exists.
First of all, paraffin wax is always an add-on to my pedicures.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, yeah. So I was talking about the paraffin wax machine. So with that, the VA actually, some of you may or may not know, but they actually do cover paraffin wax machines. They can prescribe it for certain conditions. Case in point being me. I'll show you. Let's see if it's ready. Hold on.
Oh, so nice.
So this is an industrial size. One is fixed for feet, actually, but I use it for my hands and feet because they're clean, obviously, whenever I put them in there. But it is paid for by the VA. I got this issued from podiatry.
Nice.
So, and then they give you the industrial size one, and they give you 5 pounds of wax.
Oh.
So it's kind of nice, but it's actually for people that have issues like due to like neuropathy, if they have diabetes or issues with their feet. What they can do is they can actually go to their podiatry and ask to have it prescribed to them through prosthetics. They prescribe it, and they'll actually write you a prescription for an industrial size paraffin wax machine, and they will give you 5 pounds of wax.
Nice.
So, yes. So there's that. And then also, I guess while I'm peeling my hands, because I can't get to the next question, but
okay.
Well, I was going to talk about wine, actually. So, do you know about ice wine? I was going to talk about it.
Ice wine or ice champagne? Like
ice wine. So there's actually a wine. It's called ice wine. It's considered a dessert wine. It's extremely sweet. But with ice wine, it's stupid expensive. And it's actually from Germany. And the reason why it's so expensive is it's crazy sweet, sweeter than any Moscato. And so people will get it, but it's in a very small bottle and it's crazy expensive, like maybe $20 to $50.
Who's the supplier?
Well, it's different wineries in Germany.
Okay.
So whoever makes that type of wine, right? Like a Spade of Lace or something like that. But in Germany, what they do is they keep the grape on the vine as long as they absolutely can. And when it gets to like peak maturity, which is usually around like the frosts, they have to keep it on until the very first hard frost. After that, they have to immediately harvest it. If they don't, what happens is they lose the entire crop for the year.
Oh.
So,
so
it just helps a lot of people with excess skin or skin cracking, Gene. So that's why a lot of people get it. Like for me, I have diminished circulation. I have like the circulation of an old person. Actually worse. You're supposed to have 3 working arteries. I have 1 in each leg. So for me, I have like excess skin or cracking. So for me, I have to keep on top of my pedicures just so it doesn't happen. I don't have hooves, which is awesome. Yeah. But it helps a lot of people that have foot conditions to help hydrate and replenish cracking in the feet. And also, I don't know if some of our viewers know this, but and we talked about it. We've had her on the show before, but the VA does cover Botox for certain medical conditions as well. So, like for me, like I just had Botox put in my face this week and scalp because I have migraines. Yes, I can
Yeah,
move eyebrows.
I had it on
But
Tuesday, Monday.
yeah, but so I mean, veterans, I mean, definitely take a look at alternative treatments because there are a lot out there that the VA does cover and they don't mention it. And you are your own best advocates. So definitely check and see what's out there. I mean, you can definitely ask your doc, they'll tell you. I mean, you can also go on like Vet to Vet information, or you can go on different pages where they talk about VA benefits or va.gov, and you can look it up and see if it's something that's offered to you as well.
I
And
know we're gonna talk about like types of mom, but one was like being a loner mom.
yep,
And my thoughts on that actually, I feel like when you're a mom, I feel like you become a loner automatically. Like if you weren't a loner before, you're guess what, girl? You ain't got no friends because that kid is your best friend now. Your kid, like at least from like birth to like 2 years old, like you are just right there with your kid. Like
yep,
there's no really friends. Like so I honestly like I learned to not get my like feelings hurt or it's like when it comes to kids, like if you have mom friends in your life or mom family members in your life, like reach out to them. Like a lot of times I feel like moms don't reach out to their friends, maybe who don't have kids, or even other moms because it's like, oh well, I'm busy and I haven't texted them, so now they're gonna probably think I'm not a good friend, and if I text them, they're gonna be
yep,
mad 'cause I'm barely texting them back. But it's like we're all moms, and it's like we should understand. Like, don't get your feelings hurt. Like, come on, you know how it is being a mom. Like, and people who are not moms who are listening to us, it's not on purpose. Like, I can get a
yep.
message even now. Jeremiah's 8, and it's like if my kid's in front of me and somebody texts me, it's like oh crap. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, you
not
have to wait out. You're like, if I get this text, like,
yeah, and it's like, oh, let me I'm gonna text them back right now. Like, let me just serve my son some dinner. Like, I'll text them back right now. And then
yeah,
yeah, like it's I promise, like with moms, it's never personal. Just maybe like remind. But
yeah. No, seriously, you're right. Like, I mean, not even that. Like, there's so much we do in a day. I mean, especially if you're doing it by yourself, like, it's hard. But I
trying to
mean,
do other relationships to add on.
yeah, and especially like, if you have different lives or different social circles, like it's a challenge at times, and unfortunately, sometimes you get, jealous significant others, or issues there. So then
Yeah.
that is like an additional layer of, frustration for that. Or, like for me, like I PTSD, so I sometimes don't realize I haven't gotten back to someone until like I go back in my messages like a month before and I'm like, oh shit, like I forgot, like I didn't realize that I forgot this person, about this event. And you just get so busy. I think all of us get so wrapped up in our own lives. It's really easy to kind of forget to kind of like mind the daily friendships or relationships, that could really help us in our daily lives. It's the challenge. I mean, for me, like, I kind of deal with it. Being a loner mom is like the mom, not necessarily the mom is always by herself, but like I deal with more being like the disabled mom because like you get the questions about like, well, why do you have a cane? You don't look like you need it. Or, why are you in the handicap? Like prove that you're disabled because I've been told that, or things like
Crazy.
that. I would your mom's not the veteran, blah blah, hence the name of the show. Like so it's frustrating, you deal with, people not just understanding or like moms pointing and laughing with their kids if they see you like in shorts or a skirt or something. And then like, how do you like react to your kids? Like, do you give them what they rightly deserve or do you like show your kid that, it's okay to sometimes be disrespected and walk away? It's a challenge and it's not always easy because we want to react differently than, we want our kids to see us react sometimes. And that's like the hard thing, I think. And I know that a lot of us tend to like isolate, especially with PTSD, especially. It's very common, and we tend to like push people away, like even family. So like it's not just like you and your family, and then you don't really talk to your friends. It's like you're just by yourself, floating out there independently, and it's even harder when you're just by yourself and you don't have a spouse or a significant other that's in your daily life. And I think that mental health can take a toll as well.
Oh, for sure. I also just recently bought a journal because I noticed it's like, oh sorry we're going there. But like if I get sad, I just tell myself, I'm like, you don't have time to cry. Like you do not have time to be sad. And I don't know if that's like as a mom or it's just me just want to be tough all the time. um, but the other day I was like, no, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna let myself cry. And that's just a reminder to people like let it out because if you don't, it just you can like high blood pressure, migraines, just all of that. It just all like is a ripple effect. So it's like I bought this new journal. So I'm hoping that that's one way for me to like release and let things out. Maybe something that made me upset during the day, or even if it's to remind myself of something. But yeah, I heard they work. I used to
Yeah,
have those growing up, but I stopped.
my friend, she's a GS-12. She actually called me and we always give me her time. You need to be running stuff. Like you used to do all kinds of stuff in the Air Force. Like I'm not accepting that you're retired. Like you need to do stuff. I'm like, what really? Like you were the quiet one. Like I was the asshole. Like you're not allowed to be the asshole. But like it, kind of made me think about it. But she would talk about like a motivational journal where every day you had to write like I think the challenge was like 8 things, but I settled on like 5 or 3, where you have to write every single day for what was it like you had to do it consecutively for like 8 days or 14 days because what it's doing is it's basically like forcing it in your mind that goal that you want to reach. But if you miss a day, you have to start over. So like the procrastinators, like it really gets on them and it really gets it ingrained in your head, especially like if you forget because you have to start all the way from the beginning and you have to like write every single day your goals. And it was actually really, I've done that before and it really did help me, especially like if I knew I was slacking on a specific obstacle, like it helped me kind of visualize it, like speak it into existence, I guess. But it's funny. I actually ran into my ex mother-in-law. Well, I saw her today. You should be so proud of me. I didn't flip her off. Well, until she drove away. That's hard too, like when you're divorced, like not wanting to punch your ex-mother-in-law in the face. Because like you don't have to behave officially, but like you kind of do for
Oh,
your
yeah. I mean, honestly, and yeah, I haven't, I don't even, I feel bad. I haven't probably even spoke to her. So,
My ex-mother-in-law tried hitting me with a car when I tried moving out.
oh, wow. No, my
No, she
mother-in-law
meant it
was
though. Like
very,
she'd been waiting. She'd been laying in wait.
luckily, she was the type of mom that's like, I know my son. So, whatever it is, we still love you, respect you. You're Jeremiah's mom. So, luckily, I had that. Yeah.
But at least she was honest though. Like, yeah.
I
yeah.
mean,
My
I feel like
she's
luckily
not
she
a
was a woman
fan.
that was, and I love meeting women that can be real with you because then it inspires you to be real too. Like
Yeah.
you're right, like because she was like, I'm a woman. I know how men are. Like I got like I'm here.
Sometimes that validation is sometimes like more valuable than you realize. When
Yeah,
someone validates that.
yeah. So I was like,
So,
okay, thanks, I'm not crazy.
right? You're like, it's not me, I promise. I'm only crazy sometimes.
The bad mom. Oh
No.
yeah, now like what I posted some pictures on my Instagram and it goes to my Facebook and so it's like I'm loving this Melissa and I'm like, look, I'm about to be 30 years old. Like I do not care about your opinions. Like I was
Yeah.
just I'm like if I can be on the cover for this birth control and advocate for women's,
Reproductive rights. Heck
reproductive
yeah.
rights and just access to healthcare, I should be able to represent everything that is a woman. And
Yeah.
whether that's somebody sees me in a respectful way or just sees me like my body, how and that's how I grew up. People the first thing they do is they see you, right? So it's like I'm embracing it all. Like I said, I'm about to be 30.
Well, I think that it's refreshing to see that you're not doing that whole like because we could have done the whole pageant pretty like we could have kept writing on that shit like after Miss Better in America when we finished Like we could have continued that where we acted perfect and like nothing was wrong and everything was, rainbows and stars and stuff. But at the end of the day, like that's not realistic. And a lot of women, they need people to see people that are authentically being themselves. And that's what I think is important. I think that's great that you're advocating and they recognized you. I was like, yes, they
Dude,
know.
I see some of my friends, like other moms, like wear like more like not revealing, but more form-fitting clothes. Maybe she'll have a crop top on now, like, and it's like it's okay. Like you can still be a wife, you can still be a mom, you can still respect yourself. And just because you have style or you want to dress like with some fashionable clothes and not wear jeans and a t-shirt or sweatpants and a t-shirt every day, like I did for so many years, like it's okay. Like you can be yourself. So
Yeah, it's okay to be braless, just as long as I don't see your nipples. Like that's my rule. Like I'm just saying, if you don't see mine, I don't see yours. That's fine.
okay, yeah.
How do you talk to a mom when they're staring right at you though? Like you're like, there's no way. Like I'm gonna pass this eye
Girl, they're
contact.
shooting around. No, that's my
Like you
thing.
know what I'm talking about? Like this.
Like I mean, like I get it. Like I'm very like do your thing, but I'm also very respectful. Like I also
Yeah,
know how like when and where things are appropriate, right?
yeah.
For me, and that's just me because that's how I was raised, so yeah.
Like I said, I mean, I'm that mom. Like I go in the tank top and the hoodies and like then the pajama pants like in the morning pickup line. I'm like mind your business.
Oh, don't look, y'all. If I picture, put some comments if you want to see me in the morning. And this, you want to see a picture of us in the pickup car.
Girl, don't set me up like that. My eyes are here.
I got a muumuu on, okay? I got like the little zip up, and we going.
I got like the shirt of like I may or may not have a bra under this, but you'll never know. Like dark colors that blend well.
Like I love you. Bye.
Minimize kinetics. Right. There's those days you're like, I'm just gonna drop you off. I'm not gonna walk you all the way to the doors today.
Yeah, no, he just gets out the car now, thankfully.
Yeah. My daughter like sometimes wants me to do that, and sometimes she's like, I want you to take me to the door, especially like when she likes
Oh,
to show off her dresses and stuff. She's a
oh, she's
total him.
but
But so like okay, so I know you have like the best motivational speaking. So speak to us on loving yourself and being your own best advocate and how it affects your daily life.
oh gosh, you guys.
It is with it.
If I could say anything, honestly, it's listen to yourself because that's your intuition speaking to you. And honestly, yourself, and I've said it before in different ways, but then I'm gonna say it again. We have you physically, you, the person looking at me, listening to me, you have been with yourself through everything, through the good, the bad, whether it was in a relationship with so and so, a relationship with so and so, a friendship with so and so, through it all, through all those relationships, through all those years, you have been with yourself, nobody else but you. And if you believe in a higher power, but you, and it's like once you sit down and like think about that, you're like, dang, I've been through the ups, the downs. Like, what can I not do? So if you have something, whether it's like have aspirations for something, do it. Don't just say, well, I want to do that too. I wanted to do that, but I even have family members tell me like, you're like me, but da 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 da. Like, and it's like, no, I'm like me, and you're like you, and we all have, life happens, and it's okay if you have to stop and pause. Sorry, I'm like going everywhere, but it's like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about what you want to do and how it's what the actions you take are going to lead to where you want to go. And whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. You have to know that. You have to know you can do what you want to do. If you want to run a 5K in less than a month, you can do that. If you want to run for Miss Veteran America, you can do that. If you want to be on the cover of something, you can do that. It doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere, and don't don't think anything you do is in vain. Um, show up and own it. Like a lot of people, a lot of great people that I've met that are motivational, they all tell me the same thing. They're all like, you have to own it. Like if you wear a dress and it's new to you and maybe it's something you're not used to, or maybe you're like, you want to change your style up a little bit. Confidence is key. And if you feel good, you look good, and everything around you just trickles. I promise you. When you love yourself, people notice that. The way you carry yourself, people notice that. If you, how do they say in the military or especially the Navy, perception is reality.
Yeah.
So if you see me like this every day, sorry y'all. Promise I'll brush my hair for y'all next time. But if you see me like this every time, you're probably gonna be like, oh well, she doesn't like. Oh, if you see me here, it's like, oh, well, it's different. Like, you know what I mean?
If you would have saw
So
me 10 minutes before we fucking started this, you would have been like, oh shit, she doesn't, she's the same color as the walls.
yeah, like just own it, believe in yourself. That's the number one thing I can say. Through all of things, everything that I just said is believe in yourself, because most of the time family and friends, they have their own dreams, their own goals. So they're not gonna most likely support you, and you have to know that. You have to know that. And don't be discouraged because you don't feel the support around you, because there's millions of people in this world, and TikTok is a big example that people can still live their dreams, and it doesn't have to be from support from your close friends and family, because they'll probably be the last ones. And it's not because they don't believe in you, maybe half of them, but it's also because when you live your truth and you do things that you want to do, you scare other people because they're realizing the things that they haven't done. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And it's not to talk bad about anybody, but and I tweeted this the other day, when you start loving yourself out loud, it makes other people uncomfortable. But you should still do it. It doesn't, who cares? Because your happiness is what matters the most. So
Yeah, the people that run up to you and scream you need to love yourself are assholes. I said it. Not you. You know who I'm talking to. You know who you are. Not you. Not you. But yes, I agree.
and a lot of times when people like, you just who you are. Like, I don't know Brandy 100% because I'm not Brandy. What Brandy goes through every day is not the same thing I go through every day. Melissa goes through every day is not the same thing Brandy goes through every day. So we don't really know. So we don't really know. We only know what we see and what comes across us. So we just have to worry about ourselves and remember what you're doing everything for. So let that be your reminder.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Miss Melissa. I love when you speak. But it's true. Like I think a lot of us, we feel that we're like not as good as someone, and we feel that if we don't meet that, we don't try. And like, I mean, I'm excited. Like, Thea Juanita, she's a finalist for Miss Veteran America, or a semifinalist, should I say? So we actually told us telling our stories actually made her curious, and I've been pushing her to do it, and she applied, and she's now a semifinalist.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see an amazing show too.
You know it, like she's like a giant shark in there. Like she's all like, no, I'm like,
Girl, they're about to know about her.
I agree. And so, and also, so next week we are going to have one of the top artists for Operation Tattooing Freedom. So we're going to have Cactus Jack. He's going to be coming on next week, and he's going to talk about laser removal, diving, and tattooing, and everything in between. So he's a character, so that'll be an interesting podcast as well. He does a lot for veterans with PTSD, whether it be diving or whether it be doing tattooing through OTF. So we'll see what he has to say, and it should be a good podcast as well. But before we did wrap it up tonight, Miss Melissa, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I love y'all.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone, tonight for a hopefully entertaining episode of Yes, I Am the Veteran. We got our first angry reaction, so that's fun. But we did our job. But as Jean says, my eyes are up here. Just kidding. No, but have a good night, guys. Be good or be good at it. Be good to each other. And please reach out if you guys want, if you have questions on the show, if you want us to ask anything on the show, especially because of some of the people we do have coming up in the next month as well. Miss Felicia will be one of the few, and she is a claims guru. So if you have any claims questions, please go ahead and message us as well, so we can go ahead and get those to her and have those answered for you on the show. But have a good night, everybody, and have a safe weekend. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.